Earlier, my name's Melanie, or Coach Mel is what all my kids call me because I'm a feeding specialist. I'm a food coach. I work with children who are picky eaters or perhaps have medical issues that they're not able to eat. But most of all, it's about keeping it fun.
That's right, and that's where I come in as well, because I'm a fun expert, not necessarily a feeding expert. I'm very good at eating, but I like to make toys and create new ways for kids to eat and experience the fun of eating.
That's right. This is my friend Ad, and Ad has this amazing company. He's the creator of Fun Eating Devices, and I'm really excited to have you here today.
Well, thanks.
Because we have 10 different ways to use fun eating devices with picky eaters, or perhaps in feeding therapy, or for the parents who might be watching who just want more ideas on how to really enjoy family meal times and help their kids learn to eat vegetables and healthy foods. This is the way to do it. Let's take a look here. We've got Anna joining us. Anybody else out there before we get started? I don't want you to miss anything, so I'm just waiting for a few minutes for everyone to join us. Let me know you're there by making a comment in the comment section. All right, great. Hey, Jody, how you doing?
Hi, Jody.
We are ready. We're ready to roll. So I'm just going to start one more time and say that my name is Melanie Potock, and this is Mondays with Coach Mel. I'm a food coach. I'm a speech-language pathologist who specializes in pediatric feeding. And I know how important it is to keep food fun. But you know who really knows that is my pal Ad here.
That's right.
Tell them about Fun Eating Devices.
Oh my gosh, well, we created Fun Eating Devices really to set our kids up for success. Not only at mealtime, but really just in life, and just help building up those skills with, getting good nutrition in their body, but then also helping with fine motor skills as well.
Yeah.
And just making it just a fun experience at mealtime.
I think that's great. I've met your kids, and they really do. They try a lot of new foods,
They do.
And there's no pressure because it's just fun.
Just make it fun. Why have to eat with boring forks, knives, and spoons? And why not eat with a really cool buddy, a mealtime buddy like Sporkman?
Yeah, exactly. I had the good fortune at the American Speech Language Hearing Association of hanging out with Ad and his wife Sarah at their booth on the expo floor, and I had taken a Sporkman to the hotel where I was having breakfast, and I was eating my dish of blueberries with the Sporkman, and people were stopping me and saying, "What is that? Where did you get that?" And here I am, a grown-up, eating with this, and every adult walking by said, I need one of those for my kids.
Because seriously, who doesn't like a spork?
Yeah.
And who doesn't like chopsticks? And the ability to actually use chopsticks, right? So these are like training chopsticks.
Yeah.
So, and they're also his legs. So he's got a fun little smile.
And these come in all different colors,
They do.
right?
So they come in a 2-pack of red and blue, pink and purple, and green and yellow.
I love the packaging too. You have this little monster theme going on.
So this is our little monster. We have a bunch of monsters for our products. We call our kids little monsters. We want them to gobble up their food. And in this one, it's eat, play, gur. Play, get the nutrition in, but then gur, I'm ready to tackle and conquer the world.
I love that. That's fantastic. Well, let's talk about how to use these, particularly with really picky eaters. So the first thing we're going to cover is how to use these when kids don't want to touch new foods. As feeding therapists, Ad, we work with a lot of kids with sensory processing difficulties, and they're often hesitant just to interact with the food with their fingers.
Right.
Yeah. And so I will often use Sporkman, or maybe Krabby Grabby, or some of the other devices that we're going to be showing you here in a minute, just to get kids playing with the food and interacting with it, even if they're not willing to touch it yet with their fingers. So one of my favorite games is, here actually, give you some blueberries. I've got some defrosted blueberries here, so they're a little mushy. And we just take Sporkman, and you can either use the spoon or the spork, the hair.
And this is called airplane style, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to do what we call Kung Fu style.
Yeah,
right,
Kung
with the
Fu
legs.
style. And help the kids learn how to pick up their blueberry or whatever the food happens to be and immediately drop it into another bowl.
Done.
So we're going to set a timer, and then, I'm just going to leave mine in there.
Oh my gosh.
Start.
All right. Me too.
And ready, go. Right now, the kids are having so much fun.
I've got so much practice.
And if one happens to fall on their lap, that's okay.
That's
now
all
they're
right.
touching blueberry. Or if one happens to fall on the counter, they might just pick it up and stick it in.
But sometimes I like to use his feet and just stab the food.
Yeah, why not, right? Right? Timer's up.
Oh. Who won?
Oh, always me. So little games like that to keep the anxiety down, not only for the kids, but frankly for the parents.
Yep.
Because when you have a picky eater at home, it can be very, very stressful.
Yep.
And we want parents to have fun too.
That's right. And you know what? All of our fun eating devices are kind of like character based. So they are advocates for your kids. So they're saying, hey, you know what? You don't want to touch the food? Well, your buddy Sporkman will touch the food for you. He's going to be the separation between the food.
He's the hero.
He's the hero. He's what we call a hunger hero.
A hunger hero. I love that. Well, let me show you a couple other ideas too. We'll set these aside for a second. You know, another thing, I was just playing this the other day with a little 5-year-old. He loves garbage trucks and garbage cans. So I'll often just bring a little jelly jar, something that looks like a trash can.
Yeah,
and
cool.
We've been working on spinach. And I brought the Sporkman, and we can definitely work on picking it up one at a time. I mean, he'll even pick up leaves of spinach with no problem. That's how easy it is. But for him, we were playing Garbage Man, and we were just scooping the trash into the garbage.
Rake those leaves.
Rake those leaves, exactly. And one fell onto the counter, just like that happened here. He just picked it up, stuck it in. Now I've got a kid.
He's touching his food.
He's touching his food.
Wow.
And that's okay. If that's as far as we get that day, that's okay.
I like that. I like that you say that's okay.
Yeah.
Because as parents, we feel so pressured to get the nutrients into our kids' bodies, right?
Yeah.
And just eat your food, and it becomes this argument back and forth, and then it pushes the child away.
Right.
Right. It becomes even more reluctant to the food that you're trying to introduce.
And it only makes everybody feel worse. It only makes everybody uptight. And we want positive experiences around all types of food in order for our kids to be really mindful, careful eaters.
Well, and mealtime is one of those. It's one of those times that families get a chance to actually spend time with each other. Why spend time around the dinner table arguing or trying to beat down these rules of eating the foods, or just making it difficult, and building a wall?
Yeah, it's true.
Make it a fun experience, and
for everybody.
Yeah. Build those family relationships.
I like that. Build those family relationships.
Yep.
Tell me about these.
Absolutely. So these are what we call pull action utensils, right? And so what kid doesn't like picking things up with a grabber, right? So I'm not a lefty, but I'm going to try my best. So this is Krabby Grabby, and this is Gator Grips. And occupational therapists love this as well because it helps build dexterity through the cognitive play of picking and eating, right? Build that index finger strength, so for like tying shoes and buttoning shirts. But it just makes it so much more fun to eat with that and grab it. I mean, it's a toy. And then who doesn't want to, eat their food with a gator like Hungry Hippos?
Right.
And
it is
scoop
just
it
like
up.
Hungry Hippos.
Or pinch it. We don't want you to pinch your siblings, excuse me. But
I particularly like these for kids who won't bring new foods up to their mouth. The other day I was using, I think it was this one. What is this one called again?
Gator Grips.
This is Gator Grips. And I was using this one, and we were picking up carrots, this little girl and I. There we go. And we were putting on carrot lipstick. So she did not want to put a carrot in her mouth, but we were working on just getting her to bring the food up to her mouth. Very often in feeding therapy, we think of everything in terms of a hierarchy, in terms of climbing a ladder. So if what we're going to work on that day is just making friends with carrots, if I can help her learn to put it like lipstick on her lips and have fun that way, not only is she feeling it on her lips and getting that proprioceptive input that tells her what it might feel like when it eventually gets in her mouth. But she's also, you can't help but lick your lips after you do that.
And seriously, who doesn't like orange-colored lipstick?
Well, it matches your shirt.
if I were to wear lipstick, it would be an orange color.
Absolutely. Plus, when you bring food up to your mouth, you can't help but get a little bit of what we call nasal aroma. We smell foods in the back of our throat, but also right under our nostrils. It's two different types of aromas. And so once the kids get the food into their mouth and begin to chew, they actually smell it in the back of their throat as well. So this is the introductory aroma.
I really like that you said that you building the kids up like a ladder, right?
Like a ladder.
Instead of like jumping off the cliff or going down. I'm a big skier.
Yeah.
Like pushing someone first time skier down a black diamond.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
They'd probably make it to the bottom of the hill, but they'd never want to do it again. You can't force this on kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to build confidence.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So another way that if you've got kids who you're trying to get them to bring new foods to their mouth, you can use the Gator Grips or the Krabby Grabby, and you can start by just, if you're working with the child, just teach them to accept this fun toy near their face, which is pretty easy to do. But just have fun with it. Hey, I'm going to touch your cheek. I'm going to touch your nose. I'm going to touch your lips. And then, once they're used to the toy itself, then introduce a preferred food, chocolate chip cookie.
That's my preferred food.
That's
my wife.
And I've just got a piece of cookie here, and grab onto it, and now teach them that when you come toward them with a preferred food and a smile on your face, that you're going to touch their cheek, you're going to touch their chin, you're going to touch their lips. One thing, though, I have to tell you that I don't do, and a lot of feeding therapists use this technique. This is just me. I personally don't use it. I don't have kids kiss food. I used to, but the reason why I don't do it anymore is because when you kiss food, you purse your lips and you tense them up. I want kids to have relaxed lips, and I want them to have a slightly open mouth. So instead, I'll work on touching that lower lip. So I'll say, touch lip. That's great. Do it again. Touch lip.
That makes
and
sense.
Oftentimes, if it's a preferred food, you know, they want to take
and
a
then
bite.
they're going to eat it.
Yeah. And then go ahead and graduate from there to a really big piece of a non-preferred food. Like this is just some orange pepper. And just work on the same thing. All we're working on is getting it up to their mouth. But don't be surprised in the process if they don't end up licking the food as well.
Makes sense. And if you have a kid that likes to mix things up, you can swap colors. So, and really easy for cleaning as well. So I'm going to swap this. Actually, let's keep. I want Gator Grips
so you
to
can
be
make
in this.
like rainbow colors.
Yeah, you can make it in really cool colors like that.
That's great.
This is another one. And it's funny because a lot of kids do like to mix their the housings up with their pole action utensils.
And these are really easy to clean.
They are.
You can take them all apart like that.
So they're dishwasher safe, they're BPA free, phthalate free, lead free, and because they're a toy, they also have to get tested for what's called ASTM testing. And because they're for food, they also have to be tested with the FDA, so they're double tested.
That's
so
great.
Super safe. So when the child's putting it up to their mouth, you don't have to worry about anything leaching or any bad chemicals get into your child's mouth.
And they're all dishwasher safe.
All dishwasher safe. And if they end up in the microwave, don't worry about that either.
Okay. Let's talk about when kids will lick but not bite a new food. And by the way, we'll go through a few more steps, and then I'll make sure to look through and take a look at your questions so we have time to answer those as well. But when kids, they'll lick, but gosh, how do you get them to bite the food? Now remember, biting isn't chewing. Biting is the first step to eventually biting, which is what a chew is actually, right? It's a different dance step.
Yeah, it's like a first step to a commitment. It's
a first step to a commitment.
Got it.
It's a first date.
It's a first date.
Well, when you're working on kids learning to bite, then I usually use Sporkman for this, but I like his little toes to grab onto an age-appropriate size piece of food. This happens to be just some orange pepper. and I have them put it over here on their monster teeth.
Got it.
Because they're little
I
monsters.
love the monster teeth, yes.
If you have kids bite here and they're hesitant eaters, then they're much more likely to just spit it out. Instead, we want them to hold it over here, and now it doesn't even touch their tongue. They can even talk with it there, yet they've got it in their teeth. But now what do they do with it? Well, that's where the mod set comes in.
Yep.
Would you show everybody how to use the mod
Oh my gosh,
set?
absolutely. So mod set is a really cool tableware set that comes with a bowl, a straw cup, because straw cups are better than sippy cups, right?
Absolutely. Someone's been reading my blog.
I do. And so, but it also comes with a bowl,
Bring it over here just in case they can't see.
Sorry about that. So it comes with a bowl and 3 really small plates, and they all snap together, right? So it's easy, portable, transport it to the picnic or to a ball game or wherever.
Oh, great.
Right? But the reason why they're such small plates is because they're not as intimidating as a large plate. This is a lot more manageable for a child to...
I always say keep it underwhelming.
Exactly. So what we really want to do, what's cool about this is the child can configure it. It's kind of like Lego. So I'm going to configure it like let's do it like a board game. So, and then we also have this really cool mystery lid. So
it's got little question marks on it.
A little question mark. So hide a little treat underneath, and get them to eat. But it also acts as a lid, so you can store it as well. You can snap your cup on the side as well.
Wow.
And you got this really cool kind of plate. But it becomes this cool stackable experience where they can configure their food however they want, and they're in control.
They're in control.
Or you can just say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to serve you a meal on this.
Well, yeah. And if you've got that little piece of food right here, and you want the kids like, what do you do with it now? You can hand them, you know, hand me one of those.
Absolutely. So here,
and hold it right here, and then have them place it on the plate.
Yep.
You don't want them to spit, because we don't want to get in the habit of spitting out food.
That's a good point.
We want to use control. Now they've got a section for any food that they need to get rid of after they've had that initial taste on their monster teeth. And all the rest of the food stays fresh. Or for my sensory kids, I might even use this section for that particular purpose, because then they can put the lid on it and not necessarily see the chewed piece.
Exactly. And you know, the great thing is we have these walls up on the plates, so foods don't intermingle with each other.
Yeah.
A lot of kids just can't stand their applesauce mixing with their peas or the food mixing. So it really helps with that.
And you've got a little bit of a ridge here, so that when kids do go to scoop a Sporkman, they can push it up. They can push it up against there, and they're not frustrated. We don't want frustration when you're learning to eat.
My mother always got on my case for using my fingers to push it up or push it on my. So yeah, we do have that ridge to really help with that. I'm glad you noticed that.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. And of course, as feeding therapists, we love kids to get messy and use their fingers. But as we started, when we started this Facebook Live, we said a lot of kids are not willing to touch it. So if you have that ridge, they feel more comfortable getting it on their spoon and hopefully getting it up to their mouth.
Yep.
So let's talk about when these kids will bite, but they won't chew the food. So remember, they have to have the motor skills to do so. And when they'll chew other preferred foods, but they won't chew a new food yet, one of the most important things you can do is make sure that they have a cup of water with a straw. And that's why I love the mod set, because it automatically comes with a small cup of water and a silicone straw that they can easily take a sip of, yet they're not going to gulp, 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 gulp.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this lid snaps in, so so you don't have to worry about it just flying all over the place.
And I love this too, because it's really age appropriate for even my preschoolers, my older kids. It doesn't look like a baby cup so often you see that. I like that.
Yeah, it's a little big kid cup.
So when kids will chew, but they won't swallow, remember to always have a cup of water. Teach them to chew over on the side. It's going to be a very small piece. And then take a sip of water to help wash it down. That's the key. But the smaller the piece, the better. If it's really, really meltable, oftentimes they won't need anything to wash down. But if it's something like a small piece of pepper like we talked about earlier, that does require a lot of crunching, and it needs something to help propel it back. But you also can include dips in one of these sections to help moisten the food.
That's right.
Whatever you'd like to do. While you're telling them a little bit more, I'm going to just check and see if we have any questions so that we can answer those. So take it away.
Oh my goodness, put me on the spot. So yeah, so right now these are our fun eating devices, fed. You know, we want your kids fed, and we're really what our main goal is to just set your kids up for success, right? Like we said before, we don't want it to be an argument. We don't. Food should be a fun experience.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many TV shows, for adults that we like. We love to watch. Oh, where are they now? Where is that person now? I want to.
Food Network and all the cooking shows.
Exactly.
And
I want to go to that place because I want to try that food. That's amazing, and I want to do it with my friends, right? So, feeding is just such this social experience. Yeah. That also fuels us, right?
That also fuels us.
So that's our main goal, is to build kids up all around the world. So that's why a portion of every sale goes to feeding children in need around the world. So if you go to our website at eatwithfed.com, you'll notice that we fed over 64,000 kids so far.
Wow.
And
what country you said you've been to?
Well, so our first country that I went to actually to deliver the meals was Haiti. Oh, and we fed over 10,000 kids there. And then Vietnam, all over the place, Nicaragua, any place where there's kids. And even here in Colorado, we feed children in need, because you wouldn't know, even here in the United States, that kids go hungry.
Yeah, it's amazing how many families struggle with food insecurity. When we're all done with this live presentation, I'll go back through the comments. I'll include Ad's website. Tell them again what it is.
It's eatwithfed.com.
Eatwithfed.com. I'll put that in there. I'll also put in the comments an article that I wrote for the American Speech Language Hearing Association about food insecurity and how it often is, it's often in disguise. A gentleman can come into your therapy setting with a 3-piece suit, and you may not know that he hasn't had a job for 2 months. And he just got done with his 10th interview. And he's really worried about getting food on the table.
That's right.
You
never know.
You never know. You never know. So when families buy products from fun eating devices, a portion of the proceeds goes to help families.
Absolutely. So actually, if you were to buy a 2-pack of Sporkman, we actually feed 2 children. That provides provides 2 meals to children.
Wow.
So we like to say a calorie in equals an idea out. And if a child is not getting the good calories in, they're not able to learn. They're not able to have ideas. They're not able to play. They're not able to grow. Right. And then that just continues the cycle of poverty.
Yeah. And that's true for all of our children. I have to tell you, I was looking at some of the comments, and a few people said their book was delivered today, and they're talking about Adventures in Veggieland. If you'd like another copy, tell them what you're doing over at Fed.
So if you purchase $60 or more at Eat with Fed, you will get a signed copy of Adventures in Veggieland. Just type in promo code VeggieLand60. Again, that's VeggieLand60 at eatwithfed.com, and you will get your signed copy of Adventures in Veggieland. And normally on our website, I believe it's $19.99.
Yeah. The retail price is $19.99. So you're going to give everybody a free copy.
Oh, absolutely.
For $60 of amazing products that also goes to help feed children.
And and we love this book because we love really cool. These are fun, but also being super creative with putting meals together. My favorite is the mashed potato volcano, or the sweet potato volcanoes. Yeah. I love using dinosaurs. I'm just a big kid, so I love having a guidebook, a directory on how to prepare these meals and just be able to laugh and giggle with your kids around the table and just really build that family togetherness.
And I don't know if you're aware, but we just started a Facebook group called Adventures in Veggieland, and I love it because it's for parents and professionals, and it's all positive support on how to help your children learn to love vegetables. Yep. And I post there once or twice a day, but all these amazing parents and other professionals post there too. And I'm learning a lot from everybody else.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And if you'd like to join our group, just click Visit Group at the top of this Facebook page, or I'll also put the link in the comments. I'm going to check for any more questions before we say goodnight. Let's just make sure we haven't missed anything. Let's see. You know, Ad, you're being really modest in that anybody who already has their copy of Veggieland knows that there are Gator Grips in there.
Yeah.
There's Sporkman in there. I sent these to the photographer in New York City, and I said, I want these in the pictures because this is what this book is about, having fun in the kitchen with your kids.
It's just the best. It's so much fun. It's an incredible bonding experience.
Yeah.
Food is incredible, and getting kids to jump on that bandwagon with the parents and really engage. And you know, my kids now are making dinners, which is just so cool. And
how old are they?
10 and 16. So the 16-year-old's doing his thing, but our 10-year-old is really experimenting. And she's had some winners, and she's had some interesting ones where we go, yeah, we tried it.
I've had
This is
those
great.
myself.
But you know, we just want to encourage the kids to you know, and really just empower them.
Yeah.
Say, hey, yeah, you can make this meal.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, sometimes I fail at cooking, right? And I make a garbage meal, and my family's polite about it, but you know, it's just a lot of fun.
It's about the process.
It is.
Kids are pulled into the kitchen and encouraged to be part of that process. They really learn to love all sorts of foods. And it starts with food play, which is what we've got going on here, all the way to family meal times. So I'm not seeing any questions. So I think at this point, we'll close by saying thank you for visiting eatwithfed.com.
Yeah.
Order a bunch of fun stuff. Get a free book.
Veggieland 60.
Veggieland 60
is the promo code.
Is the promo code. I'll be sure to put it in the comments for you. And have a wonderful week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. High five.